The camera opens over the blistering deserts of Ethiopia's Afar region, where the land looks torn apart by ancient wounds. The narrator's voice rises over the wind, explaining that deep below this harsh landscape, something extraordinary is happening, something that could reshape an entire continent. The ground here isn't just dry and cracked. It's being pulled, stretched, and ripped open by forces older than humanity itself. Scientists say that Africa is slowly splitting into two massive pieces, and the volcanic activity in Ethiopia may be the loudest warning sign yet. A sweeping aerial shot reveals the East African Rift, a giant scar stretching thousands of miles across the continent. The narrator explains that this rift was created by the slow but unstoppable movement of tectonic plates. On one side lies the Nubian plate, on the other the Somali plate. Every year, they drift apart by tiny distances, just millimeters, but over millions of years, those millimeters will grow into oceans. This is geological time, a scale that humans don't usually think in, but one that shapes our world in ways we rarely see. A scientist appears on screen, standing near a deep fissure in the earth. She explains that the rift system has created some of the most dramatic landscapes on Earth, towering highlands, deep valleys, and enormous lakes. But one of the most important clues to Africa's transformation lies in Ethiopia's chain of volcanoes. Many of them are still active, fed by molten rock rising from deep within the earth. Some erupt gently, spilling glowing lava like slow-moving rivers. Others explode with violent force. The camera cuts to one of the most famous sites, Erta Ale, known as the Gateway to Hell. Its lava lake churns constantly, glowing red like a burning eye. The narrator describes how Erta Ale is one of the few volcanoes in the world with a long-lasting lava lake, a sign that magma is continuously pushing upward. Farther away lies Dabahu Volcano, which made headlines in 2005 when it erupted and tore open a massive crack in the desert. Within days, the earth had split for more than 30 miles. Local people said it felt like the ground itself was breaking apart beneath their feet. One resident recalls the night it happened. He says the shaking was so intense that it felt like the sky was falling. Many believed the world was ending. But for scientists, it was a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The earth had fractured not because of an earthquake alone, but because magma forced its way up and pried the land apart. It was the kind of event that usually takes place deep under the ocean, unseen by human eyes. But here in Ethiopia, it happened in the open desert, where satellites captured every moment. The narrator explains that satellite images show the land stretching and sinking year by year. Fault lines grow longer and deeper. Entire blocks of land tilt and drop. These aren't random events, they're signs of a continent breaking apart. According to experts, the Red Sea will eventually flood into this region, forming a brand new ocean. Over millions of years, part of East Africa will drift away and become its own island continent, much like how Madagascar split from Africa millions of years ago. Back in the documentary, another scientist sits beside an instrument that monitors ground movement. She explains that what looks like destruction is actually creation. The same forces that tear continents apart also build new ones. Volcanoes, earthquakes, and rifts are the engines that shape Earth's surface. Without them, we wouldn't have mountain ranges, oceans, or even the continents themselves. The narrator then shifts to the people who live in the Rift Valley today. Families who farm and herd livestock here have seen the ground suddenly crack open in their fields. They've felt tremors that rattle their homes without warning. Some villages have been forced to relocate because new fissures threaten to swallow roads and building. Government officials and scientists are trying to install monitoring systems to predict eruptions and seismic activity, but the landscape changes so quickly that it's a constant challenge. Even so, people continue to live here, adapting to a land that refuses to stay still. A local farmer is shown looking over a wide crack running through his pasture. He says the land has changed more in his lifetime than in the generations before him. His voice is calm but resigned. This is the only home he has ever known. The narrator returns, explaining that the volcanic activity in Ethiopia is more than a local phenomenon. It's a reminder that the earth is alive. Continents drift, oceans open and close, mountains rise and fall. These processes take millions of years, but every now and then, the planet gives us a glimpse of what's happening under our feet. The camera zooms out to show the entire continent of Africa, then slowly darkens everything except the glowing line of the East African Rift. The narrator speaks in a deeper tone, saying that the forces at work in Ethiopia today will shape the map of the future. A new ocean will eventually appear. New coastlines will form. East Africa will break away, slowly but surely. No human power can stop this. The only question is how we adapt, learn, and prepare. As the music swells, the narrator concludes that the Ethiopia volcano, its glowing lava lake, its eruptions, its cracking earth, is not just a scientific curiosity. It's a message from the planet itself. A warning that Earth is never still, never finished, always changing. The story of Africa's split is not a distant fantasy. It's happening right now, beneath the feet of millions of people, unfolding one fracture at a time. The film ends with a final shot of Erda Ale against a red-orange sunset, its lava bubbling quietly, as if whispering the secrets of Earth's next great transformation.